So hey everybody, I'm sorry about the dark lighting. Not much I can do about it. It is a dark morning here. See, no matter what I do, um, I feel like I'm having deja vu moment, apologizing, because I used to do this at the old house. No matter which way I put this tablet, it's just dark, and the only light I have right now is over that way. So, I just didn't know how long this video was going to go, and I didn't want to get cut off. And I'm just sitting here. I'm so exhausted. It is 7 o'clock. I feel like I just tossed and turned all night long, and I'm having trouble. Now I'm having trouble falling asleep. Before I would have no problem just staying asleep. Now it's just like, are you kidding me? It's 10, it's 11. I know that sounds early, but for me it's usually like I pass out by 9 or something. So I thought if I don't just toss up this video really fast, I'm sitting here eating a Hot Pocket, lean Hot Pocket breakfast thing. I gotta get something healthier for breakfast. I don't know what the hell it is. It's not like I don't like oatmeal. It's not like it's not easy to buy, like at Trader Joe's, or pre-make it and portion it out. I don't know what it is. I have a beautiful Vitamix. I just can't, when it's cold in the morning, not cold, but just not like I'm waking up to 80 degrees or anything, thank God, but I just don't want like a smoothie. I just don't want, I was going through a yogurt phase and I really blew my stomach up, so we're not going that direction either. Anyway, so I just turned to eggs. I just wanted something fast, and I bought this at Smart and Final the other day. So here's the thing. Last night, I was starting to drift off. The dogs were finally, they've been itching like really bad. So I treated the cats yesterday with flea medication. I gave Kamiley and Casey a bath yesterday. Found fleas. So this Comfortis stuff that they're on, which is a pill, it kills fleas within hours. The trouble is, if fleas get on them, they have to bite them and then die. So they're still being bit. I got like 5 or 6 off her yesterday, Kamiley. I think I got 2 off of Casey. So they are legitimately biting for fleas. They're not just like, ooh, I've got a skin allergy, or I'm allergic to something. It's like legitimately they have fleas. So it takes them, see, she won't stop. Kamiley, stop. Okay, baby, I know. So I gave her anti-itch pill this morning. It should kick in about an hour. That helps, but anyway. So like 10:30 last night, Lexi's sawing logs. Kamiley's been sawing logs for like an hour and a half. The temperature finally dropped. It's cool. I got the fan on. I've got the window open, fresh air. Some asshole, not 100 yards, I take that back, probably 200 yards, shopping center over, which I've showed before. I live near a little tiny mall, strip mall shopping center, decided to fire off fireworks. I'm not talking bottle rockets or, oh, here's a boom, or, a leftover one from 4th of July. I'm talking, I saw from my window a show. Legitimate fireworks in the sky. And I think Kamiley saw them. She's never seen fireworks in her life. Where we used to live, which I'll get into that later because I've decided to tell you guys something. We never heard them. Rarely. Did we ever see any? Never. If anybody was stupid enough to light anything up, which was really stupid, It was at the park with the big, tall pine trees. Constantly, I would have to, other neighbors would call the police too and like, we're going to have a fire if you guys don't get up there. So I think seeing them and hearing them, she was just like this at the window like last night. And the window was sort of level-ish with the bed. Not like my old room where it was literally, my bed was on the window. And she just stood there. I'm like, honey, it's okay. I had to turn the TV back on. Hoping no more would commence. Next door started to light up. My app. What was that? Okay. People were confirming. People were firing off fireworks behind the liquor store or behind a supermarket. Thank God. That's what I'm talking to you guys about. Because directly behind me is the same scenario. It's a long driveway. There are stores. Same scenario, except for it was across the street. So don't you think that scares the hell out of me? Hopefully the cats didn't freak out. They probably did, but, they probably just crawled under the futon or something. And I don't possibly think they saw anything because the windows are towards my house. But really? So here's the thing what I'm going to say. And I've never told you where I used to live. But you know what? I notice people, they have P.O. boxes. They tell you where they live. Not specifically, but the city. So here it comes. Wait for it. Because maybe for those of you that haven't figured it out or don't care or have been curious, I used to live in Burlingame. There, I said it. It just breaks my heart that I'm not there. Stuff like this shit happens. And then yesterday doesn't make it any better. I'm sitting there and I met a guy. I don't mean I met a guy. I met a person who lives on my street, but not on my block. He lives on the next block down. Just literally 2 houses down. And I met him, I probably think the second day. And he's like, oh, you bought that house? I'm like, yeah, I bought that house. Oh, where did you come from? Somebody with like a conversation. I still don't know his name. Got to figure that out. Kamiley, please. Baby, please. Kamiley, here. So we got to talking and he's like, oh, you're from Burlingame. I said, yeah. Why did you come here? Okay. I've lived here all my life. Oh my God, I'm trying to get out of here. I'm trying to get to Burlingame because my dad owns a house there. And, once he passes away, he goes, I'm not, I don't want him to die or anything. But once he passes away, he goes me and my brother or my sister, whatever sibling he mentioned, we get the house. And I'm like, well, happy for you. He goes, but, again, why would you come down here? Of all places. And I'm like, well, this is where I wanted to be. I didn't really have much of a choice. It's either, come down here in this city that I wanted to be in or go north with worse weather. Just, I couldn't picture myself anywhere other. If I had to leave, then I would come south, not north. So, saw him again yesterday. Walking somebody. I don't know who it was. Kamiley, I guess it was. No, it was Casey. Again, he brings up, and these are his words. These are not my words. It just happens to be the same word that somebody doesn't like me using or complained about me using. I said, oh, I know why. Oh, I left out a little piece of information. So I'm walking Kamiley first. Shocker there. Down the street. 3 cop cars show up. This is 9 o'clock in the morning. 3 legitimately Ford Explorer cop cars show up one by one to this specific house. That is a nice looking house. And there's a Beamer parked in the driveway, which is sort of rare down here, trust me. They're not only banging on the door, they're banging on the window. And I'm like, oh my God. please don't, let me just get back home. Because we walked down the block and then we walked back. And, I was talking to the cop and I'm like, oh, you want a guard dog? Here she is, big mouth over here. And we laughed and he petted her and she loved it and we left. I'm walking back down the street. I come home. I drop off Kamiley. I pick up Casey. And that's where we ran into the guy. Come to figure out there's another cop car, not the same, over on this side, behind, actually, where all the fireworks commenced, those houses. So him and I got to talking. I'm like, hey, how are you? Oh, good, fine, whatever. I'm like, what's the deal with that? He goes, oh, that happens, periodically. He goes, I'm not saying this is what's happening, but the cops do come down here periodically to check parolees. Excuse me? He goes, honey, this isn't Burlingame. This is the ghetto. Exact words. Exact words. I'm like, well, it doesn't really feel like it. I mean, he goes, again, with the, I've lived here all my life. My aunt used to live down here. This has all become Hispanic and Tongan or, Pacific Islander. And I'm like, you know what? I love those people because I'm one of those people. I'm Hispanic. My mom was from New Mexico. My grandparents were New Mexican. From New Mexico, not Mexican. My great-great-grandparents were from Spain. So, I mean, I'll be with my people, man. I'm good, fine. There's a Mexican market, which took over, if you will, a white market, probably within the last few years. So there are a lot of Hispanics down here. Are they around me? Not so much. I guess they're just in the surrounding areas. But, with him saying, oh yeah, this is, not the area I grew up in, and he's probably my age. So, it just, I don't want to say solidifies what I'm trying to convey to you guys, that how different this area is, this lifestyle is. And sometimes it just breaks me. It just breaks me that all I want to do is just go home. And that's how I was feeling yesterday. I mean, I worked my ass to the ground yesterday. My car is now sitting in the garage. And asked me how I'm gonna, I can get the girls in and open the door and, then I'm gonna have to come back inside and lock the door. And I found out too that the door, and I mean the door that you open, not the door the garage door, one of the doors leading to the garage, has no key. And I don't mean the one that I got locked out of. I mean the one that you go on the side of the house to. I wish I could get up and explain to you and show you, but I'm not in the mood. Literally has no key. It's a push and lock. And then on the outside, it's just a hole. And I'm like, oh my God, I haven't seen this in a month. So that's another lock that I have to get replaced. So it's just so many changes when you're just used to a life that you didn't want to give up in the beginning, and you still having a hard time giving it up. 30 days later, it's only been 30 days. And it's just, and it's very lonely. It's very, very lonely. One of the things the guy said yesterday was, just keep to yourself. People don't like a lot of questions. Try to get to know your surrounding neighbors. I'm like, I have tried. Trust me. I have tried. I've said, a few words to my next door neighbor. But he never really wants to talk. He's very quiet. He's just, doing his own thing. Honest to God, I don't know who lives next door. Two families. They could be of the same family or just two different people. Across the street, can't figure that out either. Next to them is like a sorority house, but I've never seen one person come or go. Supposedly they're all Asian students. I mean, I'm just telling you what I've been told. I don't care if they're Asian. I don't care if they're white. I don't care if they're polka dot. But it's a really nice house. It's really nicely landscaped. It's got a beautiful backyard, beautiful grass. And I'm like, oh God, can we just come over here for 5 minutes with the girls? My block is very short, as I've said before. It's 1, 2, 3, 4 houses. That's my block. That's my side of the street. Across the street, it continues all the way down for about a half a mile. But I mean, surrounding, there's, 1, 2, 3. There's literally like 4 houses surrounding me. I should be friends or close to or know their names. I know Tony and Grandma Judy. I was calling her Grandma Mary. It's Grandma Judy. I've been out a number of times. Again, with the dogs. By myself. In the car. Getting stuff out of the car. She won't even wave. I wave at her. I say hi. I don't get anything back. So, I spent my entire life in Burlingame. I mean, I not only loved my house, I loved my city. I loved it so much. I knew every street, every crack in the sidewalk, every tree, every street, everything. Because that's where I grew up. And when you hear stuff like that, like, why did you come here? And I think it all, just goes back to, with the times we live in, that people can find out how much you paid for your house. How you paid for it. They probably know my name because of the letter or the paragraph that I sent with the offer. So, I mean, because of the times we live in, you just Google somebody and you could pretty much figure out where I came from, what my address was, how much my house sold for, how much I bought this one for, and how I paid for it. So, oops. Sorry about that. I knew it was going to happen. Sorry. Now I'm going to get one little sippy of my coffee. Because now I'm going to have the coffee cup hold this up. So we're on limited time. But anyway. So I really think it just, it all goes back to, oh, she's rich. She doesn't have to work. I don't know, I just really think they don't know me. They don't know my situation. They don't know the situation I've been in for the last 15 years. The isolated life that I have led, the sacrifices that I have made, the financial constrictions I had. Nobody knew that I had and I know I never probably divulged this too, but since I'm divulging everything else, You know, that loan that I had was $650,000. Okay? The first one I had from, I can't even think, 2010 to 2014 was $375,000. The second loan, which I took out in 2014 until I just paid it off, was $650,000. So by no means am I rolling in it. But they don't know that. They think, oh, she sold her house for this amount of money. She bought this house for cash. Oh, she's just, she's set, and then they see the new furniture coming in. They see I'm talking to gardeners. They see budget blinds pull up. They're going to see a garage door company pull up. So they think I'm just spending all this money and spending and spending and spending. And it's not. It's just like, I have things I have to get done. I mean, this is not how I envisioned living. I envisioned having a garage door. I envisioned the girls being able to go out in the backyard and run and play and do the same in the front yard and be safe. To things that are not happening. They saw, well, you really can't see, but I mean, you could if you probably wanted to, I guess. The shed, I have a shed built, So I think I've already got a reputation without even opening my mouth. So that's, how do you undo somebody's thought of you? And then what do you want? You want to start telling people your business? Like, yeah, I lost my parents here. I took care of them here. And, is it their business? No. But, I'm a real person. I belong here just like everybody else. This neighborhood isn't too good for me. I'm not too good for the neighborhood. I would never think that. I would have never bought this house had I thought that. I thought it was a cute house. I thought it was a cute neighborhood. I still think it's a cute neighborhood. It's a little, trust me, it's way different than where I come from. And if that sounds snobby, my apologies. It's not meant to sound snobby. It's just, there aren't gated houses, fenced-in houses. And I wish I could show you. I'm not going to show you because it's not my business to show you. Across the street, the guy parks his car on his grass. Like it's legitimately a foot from his door. There are boats parked in the front yard. RVs. One house, this you gotta see this one to believe it. So maybe today when I take Miley for her walk, I'll take my cell phone and post another short video. They have, I think it's a couple, I don't know. I haven't figured that one out. Like rocking chairs in general, with stuffed animals. I think bears primarily in their front yard. Like I said, you got to see it to believe it. So I'll take a little quick vid of that because I can't even describe it. At my old neighborhood, I mean, the streets are wider. Very rarely do people park on the street because actually people do use their garages. Shocker there. But I completely understand down here. Houses are very small. People convert them into rooms, therefore losing their garage, therefore they park on the street. Or, up until 2 days ago, that was my case. My garage was full of crap. I couldn't use it, so I had to park in my driveway. So I get that. But where I came from, completely different scenario. People use their garage, people use their driveway. people do have multiple cars, but they keep them on their property. Everything is very clean and, like landscaped beautifully, and it's just a different planet down here. So just please continue to pray for me. I'm sorry this, I just wanted to be straight up and honest with you guys. I was just thinking last night, it's like, you know what? Why do I care where why do I care that where I lived? Not where I live, but where I lived. It is a beautiful city. It's like people take pride in their homes, in their streets, in downtown. I mean, it's just a beautiful, beautiful place to live. And I don't know if I could ever get back there. Not to say I would ever sell this place. But, if I won the lottery tomorrow, or if I, hit it rich tomorrow, it wouldn't take a whole hell of a lot for me to pack this shit up and move back to Burlingame. It's just people hear where you're from, and then just a really minute quick story. AT&T is now my new best friend. They're here every 5 fucking seconds on the weekdays. Oh, can we get into your backyard? Oh, we need to open your gate. Oh, it's just going to take a second. And I'm like, dude, is this going to be like a forever thing? Or, reason number 10,000 not to let the cats out. They would scurry. And they're hanging up wires and, readjusting tension wires and all this stuff. And I had said to the guys, is this normal? Like, and no disrespect, but I'm not used to this wiring stuff and poles. And I said, I used to live in Burlingame. Oh, so underground. And I'm like, yeah. Oh, you're not used to all this, what did he say? Eyesore or something. But he said it kind of snarky. And I'm like, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying is, I'm not used to this. Is there anything I need to know about how the power comes into my house? What wire coming from said pole is giving me electricity? Okay, well, that one. So if that one goes any lower, or if anything happens to that one, you need to call us. And I'm like, why would I be calling you? Shouldn't I be calling PG&E? Who monopolizes a city? I mean, I'm not getting electricity from AT&T. I'm getting it from PG&E. So I actually have to call PG&E tomorrow, and I need to talk. I need to talk to them about that. Like, what's the deal with AT&T in this area? Why are they telling me about that's my power coming from that pole, and you're not involved in this conversation? So, again, the reputation of, oh, you come from Burlingame. And, let me just give you, as long as I have you here, and as long as I know I'm not going to run out of time because I'm not on my cell phone. So, if you Google Burlingame, There was actually a man, I think his name is Aaron, Aaron, Burlingame. So that's how the city got named. At one time, this, where I live, and Burlingame were all one. And it was probably in the 1800s, mid 1800s. And all of it was owned by a family called Mills. And where I grew up, it used to be called the Mills Estates. So once people hear that, plumbers, electricians, whatever, contract person, oh, the price goes right up because, we're made of money up here. So then it became the Burlingame Hills for whatever reason, I don't know. But it was all a vast property. I mean, probably 15 miles this one family owned. And then I guess they sold off Burlingame to Aaron Burlingame, I think that's how it happened. But unless you live what I'm living and have lived where I've lived, you can't understand the difference of how people just, and now I'm making judgments. I don't know if they just don't care how their properties look. I don't care. I don't know if they have the money to care for things. An example, there's a guy down the street. House is pretty nice. They also converted their garage into a room. But they got beat up windows. They got a beat up screen front door. They got a beat up front door. But there's a beautiful, I kid you not, probably over $50,000 black Corvette decked out in his driveway. I just don't get it. Or you'll see a Beamer, rarely, a Mercedes, rarely, because that's all that where I came from, that's all people had were Beamers and Mercedes. And their houses look like shit. So you're like, well, you have a nice car that you're making payments on, or you outright bought, but you let your house go to hell. And I've always wondered how people, I don't care where you live, I don't care if it's here, I don't care if it's there, I don't care if it's on the moon. I'll never understand if you're driving this big, beautiful car and your house looks like crap. Or you drive a big, beautiful car and you live in an apartment. I don't get the concept. So anyways, that is my rant vlog for today. I'm going to end it here so I can finish this. And I'm not doing anything today. I may, take the girls for a walk, of course. We may go get gas at Costco, if just to give them a ride. And watch some TV. I don't know. I've been so busy these last few days. Physically, my back is killing me, my neck is killing me, my arm is killing me from lifting all this shit right here. It's just like, oh, it hurts so bad. So, as boring as it's going to be, I'm probably just going to sit here, and I wish it was tomorrow, man. I've got like 7,000 calls I need to make. And that's going to take a better part of the day. Calling the DMV, calling PG&E, and calling my garbage company that I still have. And I don't understand why I'm getting billed the way I am when I had, I paid everything off at my old residence before I left. A week before I left. Why is there an outstanding balance when I had service cut off on a certain date? I don't know. I mean, like hundreds of dollars. So I need to make a lot of phone calls tomorrow. I'm just itching to make phone calls. Nothing I can do on a Sunday morning. So hope everybody has a great day. Like I said, I'll be putting up that video of when I walk Kamiley or Casey or somebody. And I will show you, I'll show you my hood. Many a times I used to show you where I lived. I would take the phone with me when I'd walk the girls. And if I can find, which would be a needle in a haystack, a comparison to that, to this, I'll put the link down below. It'd probably be titled, Walk With Us, or Took the Dogs for a Walk, or something like that. I don't know. I mean, I did it a number of times, but I don't know if I can find it. So anyways, I'm sorry for the long video, if it was a boring video, but it was an informative video, I think. I'm sorry I look the way I look. I've just been rolling around in the bed all night. I need to take a shower and get some more coffee. So I will talk to y'all soon. Bye.